Lots of big theories are being thrown around by fans for some of the biggest stories right now, so we'll see how this could affect Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, and more. Starting things off with the theory for Rhea Ripley and her current storyline right now. Rhea spent the last calendar year involved in the world title picture, but after SummerSlam 2025, and for the first time in a long time, Rhea was placed into a non-title storyline. This story involved Rhea being there for her friend Iyo Sky, and trying to warn her that her longtime friends Asuka and Kairi Sane can no longer be trusted, and how they don't really have the best interests in mind. And after weeks of miscommunication and tension, Asuka and Kairi Sane finally attacked Iyo Sky and took her out, which led to the recent segment on Raw where Iyo Sky broke down and got emotional about this deep betrayal that she just suffered. And on top of that, you got Kairi Sane, who, yes, did attack Iyo and Rhea, but the story is portraying the idea that Kairi doesn't really want to go through with these attacks, that she's being forced to do them by Asuka. So Kairi comes down to Iyo and drops a picture in her lap of Iyo, Asuka, and herself, talking about how they can all be family again. Some fans were a little bit critical of the writing and the acting with this story, but you can still get the idea of what they're going for. Asuka is way too far gone. She's the fully evil heel version of herself in this scenario. But Kairi Sane is conflicted. She wants them to all be at peace with each other, and Iyo Sky is just conflicted as well. So you got that three-way issue going on right there, and then you got Rhea Ripley who's entering into the fold into this situation. Rhea's trying to be there as a real friend for Iyo Sky against these fake friends that betrayed her and attacked her, setting up a big tag team match between Rhea and Iyo versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now, here's where one of the fan theories comes into play. Some fans have been discussing the idea of Rhea Ripley eventually turning heel on Iyo Sky. Rhea and Iyo are longtime friends dating back to their days in NXT, but you can't ignore what happened just earlier in the year. Things are perfectly on track for Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley in a singles match to take place at WrestleMania 41. But Iyo Sky came out into the picture, ripped the world title away from Rhea Ripley at the last second, and it became a triple threat match. Not only that, but Iyo Sky was constantly the roadblock throughout the entire year that prevented Rhea Ripley from recapturing the Women's World Championship. And you can't ignore that statistic that they've all really been pushing down everyone's throat, that Rhea Ripley has never defeated Iyo Sky one-on-one. The way they kept bringing that up, it certainly made it feel like they were setting the stage for another meeting between Rhea and Iyo Sky. And Rhea Ripley has said on several occasions in recent memory that her goal is always to get back into the world title. So given the drama amongst Iyo, Asuka, and Kairi, and her own personal struggles against Iyo in the ring, could it come to the point where Rhea Ripley snaps and reaches her breaking point? Could Rhea Ripley just turn heel and literally wipe everyone who stands in her way? Definitely seems like that fits Rhea Ripley's character. Maybe she finally overcomes that stat that's hanging over her head. Maybe she finally defeats Iyo Sky one-on-one and uses that momentum to launch herself back into the world title picture. There's been a lot of fan buzz in the community lately regarding a potential WrestleMania meeting between Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley. So if Rhea Ripley snaps and finds the new dominant heel side to herself, that version of Rhea may be the perfect opponent for a babyface Stephanie to face, especially on a grand stage like WrestleMania. So there's a lot of eyes on Rhea Ripley. Could she eventually make that world title her main goal again? And what will she be willing to do to get it back? Could be an interesting path there for her. If Roman Reigns is going to be entering a long-time feud against Seth Rollins in the Vision, Roman may find himself in a similar bad position that CM Punk found himself in recently. And that's the fact that Roman Reigns has absolutely nobody on his side to cancel out Becky Lynch and take care of her. Roman Reigns just returned and got the Usos back on his side, and yeah, there's some issues there with Jimmy not really being on the same side as Roman and Jay, but either way, Roman does have some serious manpower on his side to help him cancel out all the manpower that the Vision has. So the OG bloodline stands a chance there in that battle against Seth and the Bronze. But the real issue kicks into play the second Becky Lynch starts messing around and getting involved in the feud. We just saw this situation unfold at Clash in Paris and for the few weeks after the event. Becky Lynch saved the world title for Seth Rollins and served almost like a shield that was preventing CM Punk from getting his hands on Seth Rollins. For weeks, there was nothing that CM Punk could do because Becky was standing in the way. That was until CM Punk went home and was able to get AJ Lee to step in and cancel out Becky Lynch in order for him to put his hands on Seth again. So we just saw everything Punk had to do in order to manage and deal with Becky Lynch. And if Roman is making it his life's mission right now to come after the Vision, it sounds like Seth could use that same Becky Lynch strategy on Roman Reigns as well. Seth using Becky Lynch and throwing her in the middle of the issues with Roman Reigns could really help to slow Roman's pursuit, since Roman has no answer for Becky Lynch. Roman can't go after her, the Usos can't go after her, so Becky Lynch would be a massive disturbance to the OG Bloodline's plans, there to come after the Vision. So if Roman wants to continue to get past the Vision smoothly and get his hands on Seth Rollins, it sounds like Roman will have to do what CM Punk did and find a woman to join his cause and help him out. This is one of those nostalgic fan theories because fans have been discussing a female member for the Bloodline literally since 2021. It's been one of those all-time popular fan theories that never really came true over the last few years. Naomi and Nia Jax have been the two top picks to be the main woman in the Bloodline. Well, Naomi obviously can't be the option at the moment due to her pregnancy, but it's kind of funny how perfectly Nia Jax could fit in this role for Roman in the Bloodline. Not only is Nia Jax a family member and someone that Roman would have on speed dial ready to go, but Nia Jax's extremely deep, rich history with Becky Lynch. Nia Jax broke Becky's nose that night back in 2018. That really serves as the beginning of Becky's man persona. Becky and Nia have always had this back and forth, never-ending rivalry in the ring ever since that moment happened back in 2018. So what if Becky Lynch is being arrogant the same way that she was with CM Punk, knowing the OG Bloodline can't do anything to her? But Nia Jax's music suddenly plays, and she walks down the ramp to get Becky. You can imagine the panic and flashbacks that Becky Lynch would be going through within that moment. The OG Bloodline brings in its first female member that just so happens to have perfect history with Becky Lynch, and is more than capable of handling her and clearing the way for Roman and the Usos. Some fans have even discussed the possibility of Ava taking up that role of handling Becky Lynch as well. We know based off of the 2023 NXT segment that Roman did have his eyes on Ava and did have a plan for her. So is it finally time for him to make that call and put Ava to use? Those two are the both big possibilities for Roman to add to the group, and he's certainly going to have to add one of them if Becky eventually becomes a big obstacle for the Bloodline. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.